in the materials today, we are focusing on two main aspects of the presentation or the field. And most importantly, initially, here you can first also meet my own personal AI twin. So you can simply scan the QR code from the screen with your mobile, and you can see the experience from anyone who would come across, for example, your AI twin in the future, or any of your product that is powered by AI to have a conversation with the audience. So you can use that to test along the way. You can also ask questions there related to the presentation if you would like. So the main point there is that you can also experience it directly hands-on right from the very beginning. Before we dive then into the talking products and personal AI twins more, let's just take a very quick snapshot of the AI market evolution and what are we currently all experiencing and living through, whether we do that for business or for our private lives. It is impacting already different companies, different industries, different countries in different levels. But the real, it's been going on now for a few years, but the real impact is only ahead of us. There's kind of the market, how it's moving. It starts from a very system level and infrastructure level, and then eventually it will start to hit the applications and services even more. Now it's more like personal use of ChatGPT and the similar tools for creating content and so forth. But the real impact will come from when the AI models are embedded pretty much to every software interaction. So that's what we are wanting to prepare everyone towards that market. So we can look at the market from the technology perspective through this kind of snapshot, how we are currently progressing. So initially, the AI has been existing behind the traditional applications as algorithms and so forth, and it's really doesn't kind of mean much to anyone. And basically, that experience continued very much with the likes of Gemini, ChatGPT, that it's kind of like just a smarter application that we have a conversation with, but we have started to already experience, of course, for example, voice interactions, having a phone in your pocket and headset on and just walking and talking with the AI. So very different types of interfaces and experiences. From here, this year, there has been a lot of focus around AI agents. So basically, when we combine traditional software that is hard-coded logic with these large language models that are like more like humans in that sense, that they can assess things and they can do things based on objectives instead of predefined logic. Basically, they will start to be acting as agents, and then from there forward, when we have we are going to a world of multiple agents. So there's going to be similarly as there's humans in different jobs for different purposes. There are these AI agents for different roles and purposes existing, and there's already millions of them out there, and there's going to be billions of them out there. And they will be organized to collaborate in similar, let's say, organizational ways as humans. But basically, this is the development of where we are navigating. And a lot of that last wave, this agentic AI world, is very much coming to play. And then like the way you can look at this, if they don't really kind of feel like they are here yet, and how you don't really kind of see them that easily, like where's the agent A, where's the agent B? Well, you can see my AI twin. That's one agent, and Oscar has another one, so that's two agents already. But obviously, then the physical world agents, aka the robots, are also kind of just the physical representation of them already. And it feels quite sci-fi if you ever look at those robot developments, but they are so close already here, and humans are not really like, we're not designed to be able to adapt maybe organizationally to that pace that easily. But anyway, this is kind of the way you can think of these steps happening in a bigger picture. Now, the part that we want to bring attention to, that this is not only one-sided. So this development of kind of through these phases is happening on not only on you and the computer, you and the application, but also in the individual side or customer side, and also on the company side and the service side. So think of it like you have your to-do list, which is your personal application, and then you have, a service, maybe a tax office you go, and you are using a separate service. Or maybe you have your own company where you provide a service to your customers. And maybe those customers already have agents on their side, or maybe they don't, but they will. So this will basically create this agentic AI ecosystem where it's not only that the service side have these agents and things, but also customers will start to have. There's a whole concept of machine customers, very well documented already for several years, but now it's just kind of materializing to practice at everyday person level, not only at the level of like stock markets and banking and IoT and those cryptic terms. So how does this actually then live? So we will have these types of interfaces across the years to come. And these will be in different services, different geographics, different types of individuals, companies. So all of these types of interfaces between the customer and the service will exist. So of course, the first is the human to human, the most common one that we all understand and know. There has already been really poor behaving chatbots and others that we have also experienced, where it's a human interacting with the service side agent. The new things that will start to emerge is that there's going to be customer side agent where, let's say the worst scenario is that there's an AI on the customer side interacting with the human customer service representative. That is already also happening, but we can think of the kind of the power dynamic shift here, how this will actually start changing. And then ultimately there is also going to be from personal AI agent to service side AI agent interaction and interfaces. So all of these already exist, and all of these will coexist for many years to come. But basically, it is important to understand that there basically is now not a scenario where there can be one AI agent serving both of sides' interest. So that's really a key takeaway, if anything, is that it's not possible that one AI can serve two different agendas. So making it perfect for customer and making it perfect for the service. Because if it's the service side agent, the goal and the purpose of that agent is defined by the goals and purpose of the service. And when it's the individual side, that goal and purpose is defined by the goals and targets of the individual. An easy way is to say, for example, you wouldn't go to court and have your opponent's lawyer serve your best interest as well. One of the big things when we go through this market transition is that understanding that these AI agents can talk any language, and there is going to be a significant change in how the global internet will work based on this. for the simple reason that while many of us think that internet is global and we all kind of casually is like a one big world, but when you think a little bit more closely, we all online live inside our own language bubbles. Some cross those more often than some others. Those who live in the big languages like English basically don't even identify that so well because they have kind of the world adapting to their language. But for example, if I would say Spanish and Polish, they don't really naturally connect online everyday interactions. What will happen with these agents, they don't care about the languages because they talk any language. So for example, an AI agent can research product information in Polish and then serve their personal owner in Finnish. And therefore they can cast much more competitive landscape for example, service offering, buying a product and so forth. And they can read product information from one place that serves a really great product information, and then they can go to another place and buy that product if they offer better buying options for the agent, not for the human, but for the agent. So if it's the same product, the other one serves the knowledge side and the other one gets the deal. So, and that can happen across different languages. So that is going to be a totally new landscape also that is kind of hiding in plain sight what's going to happen, but very little is talked about the impact of that when you have been used to serving only customers in your own language, maybe in a global sense. So when we are going to this world, it is important to start thinking that, okay, who actually owns this game? Who owns this business? How do I play this market? What is my role? How do I operate in that? And that's really the kind of the core mission that we have, is to make sure that individuals and services truly understand the impact and meaning of this. So in the world of software technology and so forth, information and communication technology, think of it, it's like a magician doing a trick where basically they show you a fancy application and kind of you look at that, wow, how did that happen? And then they at the same time reach to your pocket and take your money. Basically that's your information. So the value of all the applications and services basically sits in the information and passing that information forward. So for example, these AIs, large language models and so forth can't really be created, and they cannot exist without the information that is used for training them. Also, if you have ever, for example, started a new to-do app or a project management tool, when there's nothing there, when there's no content in there, you can see how useless the application is without the information. So the whole purpose of the technology is to use and serve information, and without it, it's pretty much out of value. Like, think of if inside Facebook no one would be posting anything and there would be nothing there. Why would you go there? So all the value is in the information, and this is very important now that we are navigating into the agentic world. Equally important and valuable to understand is that these large language models, that how, for example, ChatGPT work or Gemini work or other applications, those large language models that power those services are already available as open source, meaning that anyone can put a ChatGPT in the USB stick, put it in their laptop and run it locally. So basically it means that all the information that was used to train that model, anyone can have the whole world's information in their own laptop for free. So basically what that means is that that the information itself that is publicly available is commodity, and it's free for everyone, and basically you cannot compete with that information. So the only way to compete is the information that is not public domain or is not publicly accessible, that is blocked to be used on the training. And this is your business information, service information, product information, customer interaction information on the service side. And as an individual, this is your own documents, your own knowledge, your own data that comes from different applications and devices and so forth. So that's where the value is. And if you think that that value would be money, would you just freely post your money to the street and just spread it out there? We would likely not do or get very far with that. And I'm using that analogy simply to make a very clear state of how important and what is the actual fuel that power these systems, and where the competitive advantage is, and how you can basically to establish and maintain your value with maintaining and keeping possession of your own information. It doesn't mean that you wouldn't make it available. What it means is that you should be the one deciding how your information is made available, under what terms, and how it can be used and cannot be used. So to connect the information with the AI is that the only way you can truly have your own AI and protect your kind of objectives that your AI is serving is by owning the information that makes your AI different from someone else's AI. One of the aspects of these agents, while they are relatively new, they are in a similar position in the future as our personal phone number or our personal email addresses, or our company's email address or phone number. What I mean by that is that once you have it, it will not go away. You may temporarily switch, and like you did with your phone number, probably you kept switching it periodically until it started to kind of settle in. Maybe emails, you have multiple of them, but you have one primary and so forth. These agents will be similar initially, but once you start landing on top of something for your own purpose, and your information starts to accumulate, or you start to make your information what powers that, you want to hold on to that information, and basically it is impossible to see a future world, think 5 years or 10 years from now, that there wouldn't be personal AI agents for all of us. Equally silly would be think that the online world would work if we wouldn't have an email address or a phone number. So once it gets started, it is inevitable development. So let's look at how the information and AI then actually connect to create your own personal or service side agent. The key components of these are basically the knowledge base, the knowledge that you use to empower your own AI agent. Then you have your AI agent software that can be provided by different actors. You may want to switch that software. But the key here is to understand that you have to have this knowledge base and knowledge separate from the AI agent provider, the software, so that you can easily switch and you can keep your knowledge and choose your provider. And the third piece with the AI agent is then the interactions that it's having. So think of that as a log of activities that it's doing, or conversation log of interactions that it's having. That's also yours. That's also your information. It should not be someone else's information that takes value out of that, and that value would not be coming directly to you. So when we look at this, the valuable parts of owning your own AI is the knowledge base and the insights, where the software that powers it and makes it work should be something that you should be able to choose the provider. as you like. With that software that powers your AI agent is the way where you then define like how does it behave, how does it look, what type of activities it can do. So basically defining its role and purpose and personality. When we put these large language models that are, for example, freely available as an open source, basically the trained models that include all the publicly accessible information that they have used to train, and then you combine that with your own knowledge, basically we establish this personal AI knowledge base or your service side knowledge base. So with global knowledge, it's not contextually aware. It doesn't know like in what environment it's operating at. It doesn't know anything about other things than the world. And then when you combine that with your own core knowledge, now it becomes able to connect your you and your world with the global knowledge, and that makes it a very powerful agent to operate to serve you. And again, whether that's for company use, for business use, whether it's using your own personal identity, like my Valto AI is a twin of me, or whether it's from a product that could be a washing machine, let's say a Hoover washing machine, a Hoover AI acting and communicating and coming to life. So when we look at the current internet, there has been pretty much like over the decades, different layers established on top of the previous one. So initially there was text-based internet, then came graphical internet, then came the portal internet, then came the search-based internet, and then came the social networks-based internet, and then came the mobile internet. Each of these kind of were built on top of the other. And primarily now we use internet through social networks and search. The AI agentic network is one more layer on top of that actually will allow, if we want, to free us from actually looking at the screen all the time, and have the agents do a lot of the work that we want to get done, or do a lot of the information and communication for us. And in that world, the question is going to the core question is who owns your agent, who owns your presence there, and whose agenda or agency it is having. So there's the two sides. The service side, that is like us at Digiole. We have our own service agents, of course, but equally as founders, we have our own personal AIs that we can use in work context, but also we use our personal AI twins way beyond the roles of the Digiole. So my AI twin is as kind of equally many roles and equally many things together with me that I have in my life. So it's not associated into any one specific dimension of me, if you will. The service side is equally, it can be at company level representative, like let's say a CEO AI, or it can be a specific product representing a simple chocolate bar. Or it can be a customer service representative, of course, which is the most commonly known. So from this perspective, we at Digiole, we basically cater for these both sides. The AI twins come through a partnership that we have with Prifina, that is looking specifically the GDPR, the regulatory aspect of making sure that the personal data is handled in right way, and they are laser focused on the personal individuals AIs. And then so we provide those here with partnership and them, and then we provide talking products for so AIs that services and companies can own on their side. And these we call talking products AI. And in talking product, it also changes. It's not enough that an AI makes sense for technology's sake. There's also real use case and purpose and value that talking product can bring. And specifically when we think of physical world products sitting on the shelf in the store, or if we think physical world services, events, airports, malls, museums, and so forth, there's a disconnect between the physical world and the digital world, and specifically the ability to distribute information and make information available for the customers of those products and venues. Equally, specifically non-digital products like events, experiences, venues, and so forth, or physical world products, it's very difficult to get understanding about how the customers are thinking about those products, how they are using those products, what type of questions or doubts they have about those products, and so forth. And equally, to really understand the customer's need. A lot of this information of the questions about the products and all the knowledge that different people have about the product, that actually flows to different platforms. So people search on Google, they ask in ChatGPT, they go to the social media, they follow TikTok influencers and so forth. So the brand owners, the product owners actually have the least perspective to information of what their customers are actually looking at. Same would apply to media. Media articles have already been sucked by the platforms, their content and information. Very few people actually go to the actual source anymore to consume the information, and it's only getting worse. So the solution with the talking product is basically bringing this product owner's own knowledge into the products through a simple QR code, and then being the direct source of information about the product, the real true source, and then also getting all the insights and customer understanding directly. So it serves both the customer and the product owner the best possible way, while keeping the platforms away, in between, basically taxing, if you will, unnecessary. So the product owners already own the product packaging, the retail shelf space, and so forth, and there's a direct access to communicate with the customers at scale and any language. Some examples here. Here's also a book where basically the story of the book can become interactive. This was launched about a year ago in a book fair here in Finland, where we are physically located. Here's an example of bringing the product to a very everyday consumable. Well, not maybe everyday consumable, but a consumable product. In a case of making a beer can talk and tell funny stories, if you like. That what it's there for is defined by the brand owner, of course. What type of angle they wanna bring to it. The experience with products is straightforward and simple. No complex technologies needed, no user accounts needed, no application downloads needed, no cookie policies needed to agree on terms as a starting point. So there is no I personally identifiable information tracking. So basically everything is super simple and straight to the point, making the customer experience as simple and as least disrupted as possible, while making the focus all about the information passing from product owner to their customer and back. the customer's insights back to the product owner. It's as simple and as optimized for customer experience as possible. The customer insights, what the customers communicate with the product, comes through transparently. As said, it doesn't have any identifiable information. It doesn't know the device that it was used. It doesn't know the location that is used. It doesn't know the person who's using it. That's intentionally left out. And it's, of course, possible to bring those aspects into the mix. But this then already increases the liabilities and complexities towards regulation significantly. It brings hindrance to the customer experience with the mandatory cookie policies, agree on terms types of dialogues that are totally okay to include if you want to do that. But we have wanted to make the starting point of the product, talking product that you can make available to your customers in 1 week without any regulatory complexities and liabilities, and get a full experience of the value that can be generated from that as a starting point. And then from there forward, you can, of course, take the ambition higher. And here's also where the partnership with Prefina comes to play in such way that if there's an agent on the customer side, then there can be much smarter way of handling personal information. For example, if you need to know that if the person is an adult, it doesn't mean that the person needs to share their birth date. So the birth date information is not relevant. It's enough to know if they are authorized as an adult or not, as an example. So there's very different ways how information can be passed in less sensitive ways that limits the liability of the customer information. Equally, also, that information doesn't need to be stored beyond the transaction if it's not relevant. It's also important to think these through past the just the buying and selling the customer. There's a big opportunity to build a lot of value for the lifetime of the product that it lives together with your customer. So depending on the product life cycle, this can be years as part of your product being part of your customer's life and accumulating insights about how your product does, not only at the store, but what doubts they have before they buy, but also all across the product life cycle. Yes, just about the regulatory positions, I've already covered this, so just skipping that a bit. And then another aspect beyond these kind of physical products is physical live venues. So here again, just expanding the flexibility of this technology and its multi-purpose adaptability. Here's an example for an art gallery to basically make the stories of the artist, the story of the production and whatnot, come to life and feed the curiosity of people visiting the venue. We have one example here also from the real life case from a garden of Alphabia, and this is just showcasing how the talking product has been introduced in their service. So in this garden, that is basically one of the very high popular tourist attractions. It's protected by UNESCO, and basically they have put the QR codes available across different key artifacts that they have in the tour of this venue, where then the stories of that place come to life. And also the venue owner will get rich information about the different languages that their audiences are speaking, what different cultures are interested in these places, and how they could, of course, then enhance the experience in different levels. So clearly, much more information can be catered for the visitors through different languages, and also the amount of information that can be made available. So turning the sides to the personal AI side, and here it is very important to establish that difference between personal AI versus personalized AI. So basically, any service side AI, no matter how personal it may feel, like ChatGPT, is not truly personal AI. It is simply a machine looking to cater for you based on your own information as clearly as possible, but it's not yours. Its only agenda is to serve the purpose of the service that provides it. A personal AI is then something where it's intentionally designed service and a business model, most importantly, where the service has a fiduciary duty, which they either take voluntarily, or maybe later regulators are going to demand such thing, where they only look at the best interest of the personal AI owner. So think of this like, for example, in financing services or like a doctor having a fiduciary duty that their primary, regardless of where they work and why do they do the work, they have a duty of fiduciary towards their customer first. So basically they can't serve at the same time selling you investment products if they are your financial advisor. So personal AI is the one that has a primary role to look at the best interest of you as the individual, representing you and your best interest in context of other service side agents or other types of agents. So personal AI twins are positioned in such role for the future, basically serving the person, the best interest of the person on the other side. As said, here is my own example of my own AI twin in use. A public-facing interface, when viewed from a laptop browser, it has a couple of example questions that are automatically created based on the knowledge that I have provided for it. There's also ability to contact me. So if someone wants to identify who they are and contact me, they can do so. But this is not any kind of requirement, but it is an opportunity. Here is how it works in any mobile. So works on any mobile device through the QR code to the browser. No cookie policies, no tracking. But conversations are transparent for me, but they are anonymous. And then here's an example for also that it can also include other type of content than just plain text. So it can have links and pictures and things like that also as part of the communication. So the function of the AI twin is basically twofold. One is you, the owner, and the relationship that you have with your own AI twin for the insights and providing the knowledge, and then your AI twin interacting with the world of other people. At the heart of personal AI is, of course, your personal information. And personal information, it's not limited only to, our like passport related information or our height and weight and sleeping patterns and so forth. But it's also all the content that we use, our emails, our communication, WhatsApp, materials that we create, to-dos, calendars, so forth. Basically, when we think the vastness of our personal information, it's all information from all aspects of our life, from our entire lifetime, even beyond. When I say even beyond, we can see from the beginning, before we start to make sense out of ourselves, we already are accumulating information about us. And also when we are gone, depending on what we did in the world, there's either can be significant legacy, like if you are Elvis or Michael Jackson or someone like that, then you get the idea of the also the value of things that are left behind. But even in the smaller scale, many of us, I have a father who is very much worried about passing on the family information to my children, and really passing on this kind of silent information that is not anywhere really documented. So personally, I'm working with him to approach that, so that we'll try to capture that information for the future generations as well, about his parents and the world he lived with. Since personal AI twins are truly personal, they are as unique and individual as any individual are. We have many roles in our lives, and our AI twins should be able to cater and help us in all those different dimensions. In the bigger picture, connecting with the ownership of information, we want to focus on this problem that currently has been existing for about 15 or 20 years when the platforms came to the world, where majority of our information is actually not even our possession. It's also not only used by us, it's used way more by others, and the value that we get from it is a feed that we can scroll, and some free YouTube videos with ads and other types of things that we get from it. But we don't, for example, have very good capabilities. For example, my favorite example is Google Drive. Google is the world's best organizer of information and making it easily accessible. But when you are privately using your Google Drive, do you feel that Google is doing its best to make your content findable for you? So what we think that future should be more focused on, that your data is less outside, and the value that you get from it is primarily coming to you directly. So let's look at some examples of AI twins. Here's one international diplomat who has written a biography. And basically here, it's very timely because this diplomat has actually been working between US and Russia as a diplomat for many years. He has written a book, and this book is in Lithuanian. And basically, through this AI twin, his book can come to life in any language, in interactive format. Here's another example in the real world, in a TV journalist having an AI twin, so that the watchers of the show can take part of the program. Here's a lawyer who makes her own expertise available to the customers, and basically then she takes the role of confirming the outcomes of the conversations, or reviewing the final piece of the agreement for whatever purpose that is created for. So the role of the human behind the AI is very much important in these types of scenarios, so that it's not just some machine software without any true representative behind it. Here's an example of a plumbing, just having a QR code in a van and making available as you drive your car. Here's actually my own AI twin in my Apple Watch, so I can take it with me for the networking events. Actually, behind there, you can ask how to book a meeting with Valto, and my AI twin can give me my free calendar times. And that's just one example, or ask for my LinkedIn profile if that's interesting. But you can also test that directly, way beyond what's available in my LinkedIn profile. So how to get started with all of this? So because we have two sides, one is the service side, And the other one is the individual side. Our recommendation for everyone is that create your own AI twin first. It will introduce you to the exact same technology and the same capability, and you don't have to ask permission from anyone. It's your own decision if you want to try. It will be beneficial for your individual learning regardless of what happens. It doesn't cost you anything. And then that way you can easily get more familiar of how these things work. And then from there, we also recommend to, if you have a service or you are thinking in business or you have a product or a venue, basically to in parallel then or after that to also try that for your product. And as mentioned by Oscar in the beginning, we have a free for anyone who's participating this webinar. We have a free assessment that we can go through for looking at the business use case with you to help find the starting point if this is the path that you wanna start moving forward. To get it set it up, it genuinely only takes a few minutes. Most thing that takes time is to actually collect the information that you want it to have. So that's the thing that because not many have our information neatly organized for easy access. That's also like how little often this most valuable asset is valued. But anyway, the technology part, getting this up and running, is very, very quick, only takes a few minutes. And we will give everyone who takes part after the present or after the webinar, we'll give you a link to create your own for free. So setting up, you can name it, give it a basic profile things, you can add the knowledge, you can use it yourself to test how its response is based on your knowledge. And then you can continue to see how the insights look. And then based on that, you can improve the information and knowledge that you want to add to it. Interface on the owner side is very simple. Only a couple of key aspects, as you would imagine. The things that you want to include into your profile. So how do you want it to look and feel? You can personalize the behavior with some predefined personalization settings. You can add your own disclaimers, tweak those questions. You can make them fit to specific ones, and all of these language things are translated automatically. So if you scan my AI twin with the browser that has default language for Polish, everything is translated in the interface to Polish. If it's English, and so forth, regardless what you add the knowledge in what language. So you don't need to worry about the language translations or versions. You can even mix languages that you upload to it. So behavioral settings, how does it respond? Some behavioral options. Then you can choose if you want that contact me link there, or you want to have some other link to it where it points to, or you can just not have a footer at all. You can also put your own custom disclaimer. And then the key part, how do you make your knowledge be represented? Basically, you add content to the knowledge base in simple text documents. And then there's also this type of quick add where you can then also just directly write or copy paste content to it if you don't want to. For example, when you want, I wanted to know my calendar booking link, I'll just add it from here. Then the interactions you will get in two ways. You can see them in this owner's application interface. And then you will also get the email reports daily if you want about all the interactions to your preferred email address. The QR code you can also get directly from here. So then you can download it and put it in product packaging or brochures or into your watch or share online wherever you want. And basically, that's how your AI twin comes to life. And then also, if you want to develop from further, then we have many different ways to build different custom interfaces and so forth to take it further. But the most important thing here is the hands-on aspect, that you should get started very easily and start learning the thing. And then through that learning, you will start seeing different things, that how you would like to add or change or make things different for your own use case. So that's it. That's the essence of everything. And as I said, a lot of information packed there. But we will also distribute the recording for any revisiting. And yeah, I will also leave a few minutes here for questions if you have any. Thank you from my side.
Yeah, thank you, Valto. Thank you for the detailed and comprehensive presentation. And as Valto said, now it's time for questions. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat, or just unmute yourself and just ask live. So we can take the the first one. So yeah, Feji, interested in the AI product. So well, definitely, we are more than happy to serve you in your use cases. So if you have any specific questions, or you can expand a little bit around that, so feel free to do it now.
Yeah, I may have to talk to you later, but basically, I was interested. Good morning. Well, it's morning from my side here. It's 11:26 here in Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, the AI products will probably be very beneficial, since I'm in the beauty industry, in terms of actually when you have a lot of products out there. And like you said, you go on the website, there's a little just basic details about just the products. But as this industry gets very, 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 very crowded, and more people want to know more about the products, even about the people that created the product, and even the story behind it, and making sure that that product doesn't not only just for my skin, but it matches my value. They are supporting programs that I like. I think it's one of the ways that brand owners can actually differentiate themselves from the pack, and actually really get the loyalty that they really want from their customers, where they can actually stay with them. And like also you said, Mr. Valto, you said something about the having that product forever, because most brand owners, as soon as, so I don't have a brand, I'm a technology platform that is trying to bring awareness and try to bring value to brand owners in terms of how they use technology to upgrade the way their customers find, discover them, and stay, with the intention that the customer is able to find you and become a loyalty person. So regardless of any other product that comes into the market, you are able to guarantee that you have that customer. But the disconnect with most brands is, as soon as they design, they get that push and they get into the retail, whether it's like an Ulta, Sephora, or maybe Amazon, they actually do lose contact with their customers, and they're not really able to connect. So even though I may have purchased from you, I mean, I'm a mom now, I have a 10-year-old. So the way I interact with products 10 years ago is completely different from the way I interact with products now. Before I bought products, I mean, I haven't really bought a really strong, clean product since I had my daughter, because I just went way without chemicals when I had her, and I've kind of really don't feel comfortable going back. So having this kind of talking product allow customers, allow brands to know when their customers evolve and what they should do with the evolve. Because if you want to keep them forever, right, you need to be able to understand them, as because things change, life evolves, health issues come into place, different things happen, change location, I change challenge. So yes, I am definitely interested in that discovery of the AI products, and also not only just on the products, also on the venue, because I am working on a project right now on events, and one of the things that I wanted to do was to have customers discover new products on site. And so I've been trying to figure out how can each customer get access to each product, and how can we track the customers while they're on site. So I'm pretty excited. I definitely will reach out to Oscar and see. I don't know if I made much sense talking right now, but I will definitely reach out to Oscar and see how I can articulate what I'm trying to do. But yes, I'm excited. This is really good.
Yes, thank you for that, and very much supportive of that, of course. And we have some cases that we have already have started some conversations in that industry for sure. A lot of our work goes under NDA, not because we want them, but because the customers want them. But basically, we very much support that, and our recommendation is that in our experience, most overthink these, and they think these are expensive and they take too long and so forth. And the most important message, for example, someone in your position, is just go to those brands and say, let's do a pilot. Let's stop planning. Let's stop thinking. Let's just do a pilot. Let's do a small pilot, and then you can be the representative in that conversation. And we are happy to support you on that from the technology perspective. So the old world was so complex with the applications. These AIs open so much more convenient, cheaper, faster ways, but genuinely the companies have hard time to understand how easy and simple these things are. But for the sake of time, I also want to cater for Leah for your question. So most important thing here to understand is that basically when it comes to individual or small companies or even large companies' ability to protect their data is not so much about how do you do it technically or so forth. It comes to very simple things. What is the business model of the company? What is the business model of the service? So it's not that someone is misusing your information without your permission. You have given that permission. In the terms of conditions, you give these permissions all day, all night long. So the point is that they don't even need to hide it. It's just that nobody cares to stop and think about that. So most important thing for that is the business model saying, are they doing what they say? So are their terms and conditions actually defining that? Is their business model that they do that as a service for you? Similarly as your bank, like basically the bank, if they say their responsibility to hold on to your money for your business, it's not like you can go and say that, hey, are you loaning my money secretly? Are you spending it, on the other side? It's much simpler than what we think. So in our position, we have voluntarily just taking this as our business model, that we look after your best interest, we look after your information, and we don't do anything with that. And that's our business promise that we give, similarly as we say that for 20 euros you get this service, or for whatever. But the main problem is that these services are not. They basically pretend to do something, and then in the terms and conditions they basically say that we can do this and that for that, and then take it or leave it. So that's the most important thing. We as ourselves, we hope that the regulators will actually step in, so that there is a more clear terminology saying that if you provide this type of service, then you can call yourself this type of service provider. And if your business model is not aligned with that, then basically you can't say that that's the service you are providing. So that's from our perspective. Then of course you can like, these technologies are freely available. So if you don't need anyone as a service provider to help you, so you want to build this yourself, then all of those are available as well to run on your computer. But then again, do you know how well your computer is protected from service attacks, viruses, and so forth? So I would say that majority of computers are actually fully open to the internet anyway, mainly because there's no one providing service to really protect those devices, specifically in the PC world. So these are basically the main important aspect of this is looking at the business model and is that aligned with your needs or not. So that is the most important aspect of this future. We don't expect that everyone in the world will do this on themselves, on their own computers, and do all the hard lifting. People have already voted on their kind of real behaviors, how they will behave and how they will act. But what needs to happen is that when that trust is given to the companies, that they don't openly misuse that by just putting in the terms and conditions that this is what's gonna happen. And we very much support the regulatory development, as said, on how these should get better. But now it's kind of, even regulators are in this kind of limbo that they don't really know how to regulate this properly. Thank you for questions and comments, everyone.
All right. So we went a little bit over the time, but I think it was worth it to go through all those questions. So yeah, that's a wrap for today's session. We hope you are living with a clear picture of what's possible when you actually own and shape your AI. We have seen how these tools can be personal, practical, and fully under your control, whether that means an AI twin for yourself, a talking product, or even a talking venue experience. So now it's your turn to think about where this fits for you. Our recommendation is always the same. So it's trying to start a small experiment. Most importantly, make sure you stay in control of your own data, your own information, your own AI. Thanks again for joining us. We are running these webinars regularly, so if you want to go deeper or you want to bring this session into your own organization, check our site for upcoming dates. That's all. Enjoy the rest of the day and see you again next time. Bye.